All right, guys, so really quick, I'm going to be showing you how to update your 2022 WRX radio software following this Subaru bulletin. And the bulletin number is SB.15.13.22R. And that was published on January 11th, 2023. And this basically just shows you how to update your software from, let's see, 121-980, which is what most all the radios I've seen shipped with, to 132-080. And that is supposed to fix all of the CarPlay hiccups, and in my experience it has after running it for a few weeks. So basically all you need is a USB drive. USB 3.0 is what I bought, and it has to be at least 64 gigabytes. I bought this Samsung one off of Amazon. It was $18 for the 128, or let's see, right now it's $12, and it's same day delivery for the 64 gigabyte. It's USB 3.1, and it worked great for this. And I'll post a link to that in the description. But I have a link in the description to this bulletin. I also have a link, it's to a Google Drive folder that's gonna have this PDF file, as well as all of the files you'll need to download this. So we'll just walk through this really fast. And feel free to read the bulletin in full before you start doing this, just to have an idea. I'll kind of walk through most everything, but just to be safe. So first off, it starts out by saying you need an empty USB 2.0 or 3.0 storage device. Has to be a minimum of 64 gigabytes. And you have to format it to NTFS file format. And it kind of walks you through how to do that. And then it gives some examples on the types or some brand and models of USB drive you can order to work with this. Of course, the Samsung I have works fine, or you could look for one of these on Amazon, but some of these I found there were some pretty old model numbers. So the update contains 3 folders in one file, and you have to make sure that the file are downloaded correctly, and I'll kind of show you that. So let's see. The first thing you want to do, of course, is check your system information to see what model you have. So you start the engine, hit settings, and then scroll to system information under general, and that shows you, the radio model number. And so if it's anything that's 101-780 or 121-980 or any of these old software versions, you're good to update to 132-080. So the first thing we want to do is prepare the USB. So we'll make sure the USB flash drive contains no other files. Let me go ahead and plug mine in. I'll take my USB, plug it into my strip here. Now, here's our USB. So I've already got the 4 files on here, but I'll go ahead and I can delete those, that way you can just see exactly how it works. So this is my USB stick, and so the first thing we want to do is format it to be an NTFS file format. So you want to follow this here. It says make sure the USB flash drive is connected. Right click on the corresponding removable disk. So I'll right click here, and it says select format. So I'll select format. Now this screen pops up. It's 120 gigabytes. Yours should be 64 or 120 or whatever size you order. File system, make sure this is NTFS. You're going to change it. It probably ships as exFAT. And then everything else I just left at 4096. That was automatic. I labeled it, whatever I wanted. And then I hit quick format, which it tells you to do. And then you just hit start. And this one shouldn't take any time at all, but it's going to go ahead and it's going to say I'm going to, delete everything on the disk. Hit OK. Format complete. And so now we have the USB drive ready to go. And this is in your folders on Windows. So I'll go back to the USB drive. We're clean and empty. Nothing there. So now you can see in the bulletin, there's a link to download the software, or I have it in this Google Drive folder that I'm going to share. Either way, no big deal. So I can click here to download it, just straight from Subaru. This file is too big to preview. It's in like a Dropbox. So I'll download, and I'm going to save it under documents. Just save it somewhere locally on your computer. Don't save it directly to the drive, because we're going to have to unzip it. Now you see I've already downloaded this, so I've got it in my documents. So I'll pull that up. We'll go to Subaru Bulletin. So this is what I downloaded. This is just the PDF file I was showing you, and this is the file that we just downloaded from Subaru. So you're gonna right click, extract all. Files will be extracted to this folder. Extract. And so now it should take a little bit of time because you're extracting about 12 gigs. So it says about 60 seconds. All right, so it's gonna open up the folder that it just extracted. So I'm gonna double click, and these are the files that need to go on the USB. So all we're gonna do is select all of them, right click and copy. Then we're gonna go to the USB stick, it's empty, and we're gonna right click and paste. And that should take some time as well because you're writing everything to that USB stick, which is usually a little bit slower than your drives. But we bought USB 3.1, so we should have some speed here. All right, so we now have everything on the USB drive. And you should only have a .csv file. This is repro_mng.csv. Then you'll have 3 files here. And that's everything that needs to be on the USB stick. No other folders, nothing. And at this point, we're good to eject this USB stick and take it out to the car. All right, guys, so I'm here in my 2022 Subaru WRX. And I have the old software version that probably a lot of your cars shipped with. This is at 121-980. And my CarPlay disconnects all the time, no matter what cable I use. It is just constantly disconnecting. Now there's a new software update out called 132-980, and it's supposed to fix this. Now I have a link in the description on how to download this, and once you follow all those steps on the bulletin, you'll have a USB device with the correct files on it, and I'll walk you step by step through kind of what you have to do. So the first thing that it tells you to do, the bulletin, is come to software update and uncheck that, automatically check for updates, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong while you're updating. And once you do that, you hold the up and down buttons on the right side volume control, and then press, or temperature control, sorry, and then press this button in 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and release everything. And now we're in dealership mode. There's lots of interesting stuff here. You know, vehicle signal, you can check your battery voltage and steering angle. That's kind of interesting. All kinds of stuff, but we're gonna focus on software update. So we'll hit that. It says insert update media. I've disconnected everything else from the USB ports. I don't have my USB cable plugged in. So then I'll take my USB stick with those 3 folders and 1 Excel file on there, plug that in, and we get software update has been detected. So we're getting excited. So I'm gonna hit okay. And the car is running this whole time. You'll see it says current version 121-980, available version 132-080. So I misspoke when I said 980. And it looks like the DSP is also going to be updated. So please do not disconnect the USB device. Do not turn off the engine. And we have a full tank of gas, so no worries there. We'll hit okay, and here we go. And now we're in for the long wait. All right, so it's just finished. Apologies for this dirty ass screen. The update is just finished. It took about, I'd say, let's see, it's 5:02, so maybe 10 minutes, probably less. It says, please restart the vehicle. So the bulletin says, hit okay. I'll take out my USB stick. I'll turn off the ignition. And it says to open the driver's door and close it. And I'm guessing that's just to make sure that the vehicle shuts all the way off. And then it says wait 3 minutes, so I'll do that. Alrighty, it's been a little bit longer than 3 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing up. We're in neutral, it's 506. Starlink is gonna boot up, blah, blah, blah. Now you'll see, wow, this home screen is a little different. Interesting. You'll see, they didn't change the heat seater controls, which is kind of depressing. But everything else is supposed to be a little bit faster. And what they want you to do is go to settings, and we'll turn back on the software update. We'll go to automatically check for updates. It says turn that back on. And then we'll go back to that dealer screen. Now once you're in this dealership screen, you'll go to system information, version information, and we want to check that it updated. And we've got 132-080, which is correct. And our DSP also updated to 0.02. I don't know if maybe that That'll help out the sound because these stock speakers are pretty worthless. I don't have the Harman Kardon or anything like that, but I guess we'll find out. But allegedly, this has pretty much eliminated the CarPlay disconnect trouble. So this is something that your dealer can absolutely do for you. On the bulletin, it even states, you know, this is, you know, what the customer should say to you know, have this service be done under warranty. So if any of this has scared you, definitely just take it into your dealer. But if not, you know, and you don't feel like going and sitting at the dealer, I've heard of people waiting, you know, a couple hours for this. Just grab yourself a 64 gigabyte SD, or not SD, USB stick. I grabbed this one for like 15 bucks on Amazon. It's really nice. And just follow this guide, and you should be able to have your software updated right at home in your driveway. Of course, do this all at your own risk. If you brick your radio, I'm not responsible for it, so be careful. We also make a couple accessories for the WRX, or at least we're planning to. This is actually just a RAM ball mount, so you can come up with any kind of you know, phone mount that you can think of. This one here can go all sorts of ways. I'm thinking to add another arm to it to maybe extend it out and over here and have your phone, you know, in that spot right there. I think that would be pretty optimal versus, you know, if I put my iPhone in here, it comes out to about this point, and I feel like I'm gonna hit it with a shifter, especially with the cable sticking out of the bottom of it for CarPlay. And it's just not optimal. So having the phone suspended somewhere seems really nice. And this is a mount that we make at Cruiser Manufacturing. So I hope this guide has been helpful, and we'll see you next time.